I don't know if your church has looked at an app yet, but I think this is an appropriate time to do so. If you go to appbuilderdirect.com, you can see we're in the business of building custom mobile apps, which custom mobile apps is short for, or long for computer applications. A computer application is like Microsoft Word or Excel. It's a full-blown application, and these have become popular in the last 10 years since the very first smartphones came on the market. And now it's pretty much the standard for successful organizations to have their own app. And we encourage you and your church members to look at having an app for a lot of really good reasons. First of all, about 7 out of 10 adults in America are carrying a smartphone in their pocket. They're not carrying around a laptop computer or a desktop computer, but they all have a smartphone. Matter of fact, somewhere upwards of 80% of the people over 18 years old have a smartphone now in the United States. And that's a big deal. Here's why. In order to connect with those people, traditional websites just don't get it anymore. Traditional messaging doesn't get it anymore, and I'll explain why in a second. And the thing that has been proven over and over again to be far more effective is a native mobile app. The word native means the computer application, the app, works with all the native services built into your phone, like the dialing mechanism and the text mechanism and all those things that are built into a smartphone. And now smartphones have come down so much in price, you can pick up an Android phone for less than $50 at a lot of the different stores. So there's been a huge shift in technology, and as a result of that, organizations that want to remain connected with people, particularly a congregation of the church, need to really look into an app. So we've done a couple of things here at App Builder Direct that I think are important. Number one, we built a platform so that you could get the 30 most important features all built in for a price that anyone can afford. People were spending tens of thousands of dollars on these features, and now we've got it for less than $2,200. We can finance it. You can also see it all working for $199. So you can say, well, what would an app look like if we had one? And we can show you all that without you committing all those funds to building your app. You don't need a tech team or an art department or all the other things that were required before to do an app. You know, Walmart spent millions on their app, and Starbucks spent millions on their app because they have custom native mobile apps like we build. We're able to do that now for under $2,200, and it has the 30 most important features, like things that you would absolutely expect, especially within the confines of a church. We have GPS directions so people can drive there. We've got in-app purchasing with regard to a church that can be for donations. You can stream live media, live and recorded media. So if you're doing sermons and want more people to hear about them, you can send out push notifications about events. It could be, you know, for a Christmas service or an Easter service or a particular Bible study session or whatever it is that's on the agenda. It could be a men's club meeting or anything. It could be about a special need you have. You send out a notification, say, hey, click here if you've got some extra money to donate. We have an issue and we're behind on funds or whatever it is. There's so many powerful ways an app can help your congregation remain connected and vibrant. It's the most important thing to a church is remaining vibrant and connected, and with an app you can do that. And some of the most well-known churches across the country have purchased apps, and more are getting them. Some of them have a big budget for those. This does not require a big budget, and chances are you're going to get a whole lot more features. Just a few minutes ago I was looking at a number of apps, and I'll bring them up on my screen, and they were all fairly expensive. You know, we're talking $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and they didn't have but maybe 3 of the 30 features we have built in. One of the things we have that's really neat is this tell a friend. You can share the capabilities of the app with everyone, which would mean if someone says, where are you going to church? And maybe you're talking about the pastor of the church or a particular sermon or something that's important to you, with the push of a button, you can share that with other people. And they can also do the same, like, hey, listen to this. It could be a recorded message they want to hear, or maybe a live sermon going on this weekend, or whatever it is, or maybe announcements about upcoming things. Because with an app, you can send out notifications not only to your own congregation, but to everyone else who's downloaded that app. Maybe they were referred by somebody. Maybe you have a special need like a mission trip or something, and you're reaching out beyond your community to other people in your community saying, hey, we've got a situation, there was a hurricane or something, and we're sending relief. My wife has participated in a number of those things, and it was multiple different churches, like 6 or 7 different ones, doing a trip to Oklahoma when they had the bad tornadoes hit Joplin. They stayed in Miami, Oklahoma, across the border because there were no hotels in Joplin, and they all, worked on that. But that's the type of thing an app can do that's pretty neat, that's different than anything else. Regular information about the church. Maybe it's a list of the faculty or staff there, and with direct contacts if you want that there. It could be any number of things that just make good sense. And, YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, they're important because you could publish a lot of data. What's really neat about this is we capture the look and the feel of your church just by going to a website or a Facebook page. We're able to do that. And if you've got some nice logos or any other artwork to make your app really look good, we'd like those as well. All you do, though, is email those to us. So all we require is an email address, a phone number, and either a website or a Facebook page, or both if you've got it, or Twitter page, whatever, just so we can grab the look and the feel and begin building something attractive. And we do all that for $199, so you can see all this working. And then when you do the final commitment, it's another $1,996, which totals up to $2,195, just under $2,200. And we finance that and supply all the maintenance and updates for less than $40 a month. So if you financed it, it's less than $4 a day. Okay, so it's a great deal. So just about any organization can afford that. We have one-chair barbershops now buying our apps. They have appointment setting built in and lots of other things that would be appropriate for their type of customer base. With you as a congregation, though, I think it just makes sense. And you can see some of what's going on out here. Here's Church of the Highlands, and you can see they're studying the book of James, okay, and it shows you the daily devotional, okay. This is what they're doing with their app, okay. Give online, okay. We've got that built into our app for you. And we use whatever merchant account you have, or we set up PayPal for you. The book of James is Trials and Temptations, okay, is what they're studying here. And they show the pastor up there looking at the screen as he's discussing this with the congregation, and you can actually play it. We give you the same capability. You can watch the video, watch it live, or record it. Here's another one, Living Hope Church in Florida. I don't know what this church is all about, but there's a word from Pastor Don, the August newsletter, testimony of the faithful. Some very interesting things here. Let me see what else they have that's important. Testimony of faith. Okay, so it's just a expanded view on what I was just looking at. Okay, so it's a nice looking app. Here's St. Adelaide Catholic Church. I don't know where they're located, but it's got driving directions here. And once again, it's broken down by categories. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this. Mass times, our parish, calendar. By the way, we build in a calendar for you. You can donate. There's different ministries going on here. There's the daily readings. There's the staff, how to contact someone there. So these are the things that just about, and here's the driving directions. And obviously with the click of a button, your phone will even talk to you and guide you right in there using whatever services are built in. Those are part of the native services built into your phone. If you have an Android phone, it's going to use the Google services that are live directions with a voice. You don't have to use a voice, but it shows them to you and prints them on the screen. If you have an Apple phone and you're using maybe that automated service like Siri, it will automatically do that for you. See, look at all this information here about what's going on there, okay? It says here's the secretary, here's the deacon, here's the priest minister here. So it's really a good way to, have the information disseminated to the community, keeping everyone informed and engaged. They can respond at any time, make comments, or ask questions. It's just so much better than waiting on the mail that a lot of people don't read. And traditional websites, I'm not saying are bad. We encourage everyone to have a mobile-friendly website. What happens when you get an app built is the search engines rank you higher than people that don't have an app, and here's why. We submit keywords when we do your mock-up for $199. And when we submit those keywords to Google, now all search engines trigger off their algorithms for search. So if someone's in your community and they're looking for a church, or they're just doing a general lookup on Google, maybe by denomination or maybe by churches in general, you're ranked higher. So new people can find you easier, which makes good sense because there's always new people moving into the community and people are leaving or dying. So it's important to continue to grow. And then you've got, a lot of other good information that can be shared with an app that you can't do. For instance, an app has a push notification system built in. We give you a little mini back office. And with that, you can send out information to everyone with your app. You can even break it down into different groups. Maybe it's this group, maybe it's a group that works on mission trips, and maybe it's a group that works on Bible study, and maybe it's a group that does this. But there's a general one that sends out the notification to everybody, like, hey, we're having Christmas service at these hours or whatever, or here's our schedule for the next month, or here's our calendar. That's all built into this. But sending out that push notification, you can do those unlimited. There's no extra cost for those. Some of the apps I've seen for churches where they get you is when you get above 250 people getting a push notification, they begin really upping the fees a lot. Ours is $39 a month for all maintenance on your app to keep it working on all the Android platforms, all the Apple platforms. And as those companies make changes to their platform, different varieties of software by different vendors, particularly with Android, guess what? Your app remains totally up to date. And you could spend thousands just keeping it up to date with that kind of stuff because there's over 1,000 different versions of Android out there. We take care of all that. It's $39 a month, but that includes all your updates. Maybe there's seasonal updates to things you want to redo in the app with new pictures, and you have a whole picture section, by the way, here to share with people. So if there's an event and you've got pictures to upload, whatever it is, or calendar changes, all this stuff, you're able to do that. By the way, people can do the calendar changes. That's built in the system for you to control. But you might want to change the look of it. Maybe you have a new logo or something going on and you want to change the look of the app. That's all built in that one charge of $39 a month, and that includes unlimited notifications. So you could send out messages to people all over the world, unlimited, in unlimited numbers, unlimited downloads, unlimited numbers. Some companies charge you for downloads. We don't. Unlimited notifications. So pushing out those notifications is a big deal because you might be reaching out to people that are part of your congregation or maybe beyond that, and people in the community saying, hey, we need help with something. It's a big deal. There's a disaster and people need relief, whatever it is. It's just a very powerful way to send out and use that message and maybe respond to people. They can click and with one touch respond and say, well, what's this about? How can I pitch in? Or, engage people is what I'm getting at. The one thing regarding information with an app versus a website is this. With a website, you can gather email addresses, which is fine. Trouble with email addresses, when you send out emails, and in a broadcast email, only about 2% of them are opened on average. With an app, you can do push notifications. You've also got their email address, but you can do push notifications, which are on average opened 98% of the time. So just there alone, it's 44 times better. That's a pretty good increase. And that's why the big brands like Starbucks and Walmart and McDonald's hamburger stands, that's why they all have apps, and why even when you watch TV, it says download our app now. They don't send you to the website. If you look at a McDonald's commercial, it says download our app. If you're watching The Voice on TV, it says download our app. That's the big deal. So it's pretty exciting, and we encourage you to get back to your App Builder Direct reseller. Thank you.